Grant Miller here, Miami Community News. I'm with Vicki Lopez running for State House 113.
113.
We're going to get that where 113 is. So where'd you grow up?
So I was born in Tampa, in Ybor City. And I then went to...
Do I supposed to know what Ybor City is?
Oh, okay. So Ybor City is the sort of Spanish section of Tampa.
Spanish, meaning
Spanish
Cuban?
From Spain. So
Okay.
my grandparents came from Spain, settled in Tampa. And then I...
Wait. So your ancestors came from
Spain.
To Tampa?
Asturias. Yes.
Wow.
The region.
So you speak good Spanish?
Well, I speak Spanish. You're
Spanish.
right. I speak. I don't.
I love when people go, "No, I don't speak Spanglish." I go,
No. I
Spanglish.
speak Castilian. You're right. I speak Castilian Spanish. Yes.
So people can, when you speak Spanish,
yes,
they can tell.
They can
that
tell
you're
right
a
away.
Spaniard.
They can tell right away.
Okay, so you grew up in Tampa. What elementary school did you go to?
I went to I moved from Tampa to Fort Myers.
Okay.
And that's where I really spent most of my formative years.
Okay, elementary school.
Villas Elementary.
Favorite teacher?
Mrs. Carrero.
Middle. Back then it was junior high. Junior high.
Junior high.
Favorite teacher?
Favorite teacher? I would have to say that was probably Mr. Jones. Probably my English teacher.
High school. Favorite teacher?
Oh, there.
You didn't have one?
I didn't have one because, I graduated when I was 16 from high school.
Wait.
So,
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I had started school a year early. So I went to first grade when I was probably 4.5, 5. And then when I got to high school, I was taking all these courses.
Okay. So after high school,
I went to the University of Notre Dame, Go Fighting Irish.
Wow.
Yeah.
What dorm did you live in?
Farley Hall.
And it's like people that's a funny question. Like, what dorm do you live?
But at Notre Dame, it's not a funny question because we don't have sororities or fraternities. So your dorm, you stay there. So it's like a sorority, but it's really very much a hall-oriented university.
Just to give you a quiz. The former coach of Notre Dame, baseball coach, was Paul Maneri. Grew up at 106th Street in Ludlam in Miami.
I did not know that.
That's Demi Maneri's son, but Paul's a legend by himself. All right, so you went to Notre Dame's what years?
From 1974 to 1978. I was the third class of incoming freshman women.
Okay. Let's go over that. So most people don't realize many years ago, before 1975, am I correct?
No, before 1972.
Okay, so Notre Dame was the male school and St. Mary's was a female school.
That's correct. They were across the street from each other.
And then they let women in what year?
So in 1972, Father Hesburgh, who was the president of Notre Dame, tried to cut a deal with the nuns from St. Mary's, and those talks ended not so well. And so he made a decision to allow women to become students at Notre Dame.
And they slowly allowed them in. They didn't like.
We did. I was the only girl in most of my classes throughout my 4 years at Notre Dame. So it was very slow progression.
But now it's 50-50.
It's a little more. It's a little more women now than men.
Wow.
Yes. We're proud of that. And as a matter of fact, they just changed officially the Victory March that used to say loyal sons go marching on to victory. We used to say loyal sons and daughters. We'd throw that in. And as of yesterday or the day before, the Victory March was officially changed to include and daughters. We'd been singing it like that for 44 years.
She's a Notre Dame.
No,
same age.
Don't know.
Okay. So after Notre Dame, what did you do?
So I was an accounting major and I moved to Chicago and I worked for Coopers and Lybrand there for a year. And then it got too cold. It was the really ugly winter of 1978. Couldn't find my car, couldn't find anything. I was snowed under. Moved back to Miami in 1979.
But your family lived in Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
So, but you moved back to.
Well, I moved back to Florida. I moved to Miami, and I worked for Arthur Young, another CPA firm. And I did that for about a year, and then I worked for some other firms. I went kind of inside what we call inside accounting. Right. I did some internal auditing. I did some assistant controller positions, and then moved back to Fort Myers.
And how'd you get back to Miami?
How did I get back to Miami? That's a long story. So I went to Fort Myers. I became a Lee County commissioner in 1990. I was elected.
Wait. So a Lee County commissioner, that's like Miami-Dade County.
It is.
And how big is Lee County?
At the time, we had 350,000 residents.
And now it's how big is Lee
Oh my
County?
gosh, now it's probably, for sure. It was.
And within Lee County, what cities are in there?
So the county seat is Fort Myers, obviously the city of Fort Myers, but there is Bonita Springs, there is Cape Coral, there's North Fort Myers.
So how old were you?
I was 33 when I was elected. I call it the Jesus year.
Why is that?
Because Jesus was 33 when he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how many years were you a commissioner?
I was a commissioner for 2 years, and then moved from there to Washington, D.C.
To do
some lobbying work. Yep.
Lobbying for what company?
No, actually, I married. My husband was a federal lobbyist, and so I was helping him with his practice. He actually represented the city of Miami, the city of Miami Beach, the Miami-Dade School Board
In D.C.
in D.C.
What law? What?
His name was Sylvester Lucas.
Okay, so that their offices were.
They were in D.C. He was a sole practitioner.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Continue.
So then we moved back to we all moved back to Miami.
Who's we?
We being my husband, myself, and I have a son. I have a 39-year-old whose name is Donald Wolf, and Donnie is the government relations person for the city of Miami. He works for the city manager and does the government relations for the entire. Donnie Wolf, I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll find out.
Yes.
And now that I know, now that I know who you are, I'll say, I know who you are.
Yes.
Okay, so what have you been doing for business the last couple of years?
So I have my own lobbying firm. It's really a government relations and community relations firm. I've been representing nonprofits. I have one client in particular that is my largest client that I absolutely love. The name of it is Agape Network.
What's that?
It is a residential treatment facility for women who keeps their children together with the women during treatment. They also have an outpatient services where they at least see 2,000 families every other week in home, on site. They get referrals from schools. If children are having difficulties at school, they're starting to demonstrate behavior that would absolutely benefit from some mental health counseling. And then they realize that the family is in need of it all. So it's my passion. Mental health and substance abuse treatment, but also my passion, the way I really got started in politics after I left Florida. When I came back, Governor Bush appointed me to lead. He had created a task force called the Governor's Jeb Bush. Sorry. In 2004, his brother, George W. Bush, in his State of the Union address, said that when the gates of prison open, it should lead to a better life. And very shortly thereafter, Jeb created this task force called the Governor's Ex-Offender Task Force. And he asked me to lead that force for 18 months. I met around the state.
You're working for the state then?
I wasn't working for the state. It was a volunteer position,
okay.
But it was a position where I had leadership over what do we do when we have the third prison population in America? What should we be doing to make
third largest?
Largest. What should we be doing as a state to ensure their success when they return home?
When you say the third largest, is that the population or percentage? Of
population.
So in the population
is over 100,000. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of prisoners.
Okay. So
I did that for 18 months, and then I continued that criminal justice work under the Pew Charitable Trust. They also had an initiative here. So I did that for many years, and then I moved back to DC, and I did some affordable housing work for an affordable housing developer.
So now you back in Miami.
Back in Miami.
Doing your lobbying work, and you're going to run for District 113.
District 113.
Okay. Explain to the people where 113 is.
So District 113 is what we call the urban core district.
Who's we?
I think everyone would, when they describe District 113, they say, oh, that's in the urban area. And what does that mean, right, to people? Well, I have the barrier island of Key Biscayne in that district.
I think of urban cowboys.
Is that what you think of?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. We'll quiz you on that later.
Yeah, okay. And so I have the barrier island of Key Biscayne. Then I have a piece of Coconut Grove that goes to 27th Avenue, a piece that goes from Calle Ocho all the way to 37th Avenue. All of Brickell.
Wait, he's from 8th Street down
across west to 37th.
Oh, to west from
Calle Ocho, meaning from downtown, right? From like the interstate. You know how the interstate is.
So you have Ball and Chain.
I have all of that. I have all of the what we would consider to be the Calle Ocho business district and the residential, and then it goes. So I have Silver Bluff, Shenandoah. The roads.
Area.
It's really a great area.
Booming.
It is. It's booming and it's exciting, and we've got some really wonderful people that are being very creative. I have all of downtown. I have the Port of Miami. I have the two barrier islands on the Venetian Causeway. The first two.
What are they?
They are San Marco 1 and 2, and then I have.
Is that in the city of Miami or Miami Beach?
That is city of Miami.
Most people don't know that.
They don't know that. Correct. And then if you go up from downtown, southeast, so East Biscayne all the way to 29th Street. Southeast.
Okay,
20.
and how far south do you go? You go to Key Biscayne. How far?
Then just to 27th Avenue on the south side of the city. I forgot City
And
Hall.
what is the population of that? Even it's all broken evenly
It's broken evenly
throughout the state. Each
yes,
district.
each district, and the makeup of the voters is broken out individually.
What's
right?
the breakup?
So it's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3 Democrat. So that I believe that there's a little more Democrats than Republicans in that district.
This is Dade County is a Republic.
Yeah. Well, certainly the urban area is a little more blue than R, right?
This is the first time a mayor in Dade County has won as a Democrat in 20 years.
Yeah.
Since Pinellas.
Correct.
So whose district was it before you?
It was Nick Duran's district, his old district, but it got. He's not termed out. He decided not to run for re-election.
I think his family's tired. He's been 6 years, 8 years. 8 years?
6, I think.
Six.
This was would
His
have been
father-in-law. I don't know if you know his father-in-law, Michael Abrams, who was a state rep for
forever. I do know Mike.
So I think they realize time to concentrate. And you have a son that's already grown up, so you don't have to worry.
Yes,
about it.
I don't have to worry, and I really do respect the fact that these people are leaving their families. I've been in the process for over 30 years, so I know Tallahassee backwards and forwards, all the nuances of the process. It's a lot of work, and I don't know how people do it who have small children.
Well, Vicki Lopez has 3 little ones.
And he decided not to run for re-election. I know.
Who decided? His wife decided.
Oh, well, I don't know that story.
I don't know that.
No, but Vance is also a really incredibly good legislator, and I'm sorry to see him.
Yeah, it hurts.
To see him go.
Hurts everybody. The former state rep Mike starts with a B. Vance's old seat before him. His kids were homeschooled, and he brought his kids up with his wife.
If you can do that, then that's great.
Right. And now he owns a bunch of charter schools.
Oh, you mean Michael Baleka?
Yeah, Baleka, right.
Yeah.
So he brought his kids up, and so it's a challenge for a state rep because it's not like just 6 weeks, 4 weeks. It could be anytime the governor calls.
Absolutely. And remember, session is 8 weeks. So you're there 8 weeks, consecutive 8 weeks, right? And before that, you'll have 7 committee weeks, right? And some of them are consecutive as well. So it's a big sacrifice for families.
Okay. So what part of the district do you live in now?
I do. I've lived in the district for 7 years. I live right on Brickell, on the residential side of Brickell, very close to the entrance to Key Biscayne.
Oh. So what will you do different than Nick did? Or what can you improve on?
I think because I'm a Republican and the House is, obviously a Republican majority. I'm hopeful that I will have closer relationships with leadership and that I'll be able to bring home more money and to address some of the policies, more economic development policies that, I serve on the board of directors of the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, and I'm the vice chairman of the Government Affairs Committee. So every day to me is a chamber day, and I'm always advocating for the pro-business agenda, right? So I'm hopeful that I can be that voice that has the ear of leadership and can bring home more resources.
Who's the Speaker of the House?
So the incoming Speaker is Representative Paul Renner.
That's 2 years and following. That'll be Danny
Perez from our hometown.
Right.
Yep.
And that's pretty exciting.
It's very exciting. And I have a good relationship with him. And I think that also is a plus, right, for the Miami-Dade delegation members, that when you have an incoming, because Danny will be known, in November as the speaker designate.
That's huge.
And that's huge. He's got a lot of power, but he's also a really wonderful representative. And I think having relationships with him will also improve what I can do for the district.
And I think it's going to improve everybody in Dade County.
100%.
Because he understands. I think he went to Columbus.
He did.
He's a local guy, so it's good for all of Dade County. So, are there other people in your race?
Yes. So I have a Republican opponent. So I'll have a primary on August 23rd. And then on the Democrat side, they have a primary. There are two.
Who's on the Democratic side?
On the Democratic side, there are 2 gentlemen. One is a gentleman by the name of Andres Altalbe, who is, I understand, the president of Biscayne Bay Condo Association on the northern side of the district, and AJ D'Amico, who is a lawyer, a young lawyer. And then on my primary, there is a gentleman by the name of Alberto Peroche. So we'll all be facing each other on August 23rd in our respective primaries, and then whoever wins the primary will face.
Okay, in August, what's the turnout percentage going to be?
It's interesting. In my district, I'll be the only election. There's no primary, right? So there's no primary. There's no Senate primary. There's no any kind of other representative primary. So I'm the one.
The county commissioner, Higgins, is not up.
She's not up.
State Senate, no, who's that?
State Senate is there will be Ileana Garcia, or because in my district I have 2 senators. I have Ileana Garcia, who is the sitting senator now,
Right.
and then there is an open Senate seat which does not have a primary. So it would be Janelle Perez on the Democratic side and Alexis
It's
Catalina.
filing over. Is it already over for that?
No, it'll be over on next Friday.
Jeanette Perez, and who's on the
Janelle Perez
on the
is the
Democratic
Democratic side, and Alexis Catalina is on the Republican
So in
side.
August, you're going to be the.
I am it.
So you're about the 4th on the list because the governor won't have.
He doesn't on the
The
primary.
Democratic
There's no-
will be. So it doesn't matter. It's not on.
No,
their
it's
ticket.
not on my ticket. So I am the ticket. Very interesting.
Wow.
I know.
All right. It's people think it's easy being a state rep. It's very hard. You don't have a big budget. People think you have a big budget.
No,
You
you get paid $29,000 a year. You have a very small budget, enough to potentially put a district office and hire 2 staff members.
That's not out right.
That's
Fairly.
it. That's it. So you have to listen. I think you obviously have to have a full-time job because no one is existing on a representative's salary. And I'm happy to report that I have a very healthy, good business. I'm a small business owner, actually a sole proprietor. So I'm happy that I have flexibility, that I don't have to worry about if I need to be in Tallahassee.
That's important.
I think it's super important because you have to have flexibility to have constituency hours as well. I mean, when you're not in Tallahassee, you're in the district, which is
Right.
where it really counts, right? Where you're
Correct.
closest to the people.
And you really do live in the district.
I really do live in that
Okay.
district.
The law is very vague.
It is. I don't get it.
And well, the House of Representatives, United States House of Representatives, you don't have to live in the district. And United Senate, you have to live in the state. But the laws are vague. Where's your residency? Where's your homeowners? What if you're not a homeowner, if you don't have to pay homestead exemption? So the law is very vague, but you live in the district.
Have for the last 7 years.
And I'm not saying anything about any other people.
Don't know.
Right. I don't know. So it doesn't matter. All right. So I'm going to quiz you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
I want to know really if you know your district. And you have to pick restaurants or
Oh,
businesses that are in your district.
absolutely. I walk it all the time.
Your favorite cowboy, go.
My favorite cowboy in my district?
No.
Oh.
Your favorite cowboy, go.
Oh,
Favorite cowboy movie, go.
Justified.
Okay. Your favorite taco place.
Oh, there's a taco place on, what's the name of it?
What's the address?
It's on South Miami Avenue. Oh,
You're going to remember later. Okay.
I will.
Your favorite pizza place in your district.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What?
That is 01.
Yeah, in Wynwood.
No, they have one right on the corner of South Miami,
Oh, I
across
know
from.
that. Okay.
Yes,
Birthdays. Name your birthday.
March 28th,
Your son's birthday.
February 7th,
Ex-husband's birthday.
July 13th.
Ex-mother-in-law's birthday.
Oh, I don't know. She passed away so long ago.
Okay.
No.
Any other relatives?
Yes, my brother's birthday is
Where's he
coming
live?
up June 10th here in Miami, Coral Gables, June
Okay.
10th.
Any other relatives?
My sister's July 4th.
Wow, we didn't go over that.
Yeah,
Okay, your favorite football team.
Notre Dame.
People don't realize
That
Notre
was easy.
Dame's bleachers up to 3 years ago were wooden
Yes.
and no liquor.
No, except you didn't think anyone went by that rule.
No. Your favorite animal, go.
Oh, horses.
Now you don't. The best hot dog place is not in your district, but your favorite hot dog place.
I don't eat hot dogs.
Okay, just let you.
Eric, there's one.
No, there's only one hot dog place. It's called Arbetter's, Bird Road and 88th. Carlos Jimenez would know that.
Are betters.
Okay, as a kid, who's your superhero?
Oh, Wonder Woman. Who else?
When you go out to dinner or wherever, chicken. Where's your favorite chicken place?
I would have to say Chicken Kitchen. Love it.
Where you eat fish, go.
Oh, Captain's Tavern. I actually leave Brickell to go.
That's very good.
That is a great place.
Thanksgiving. What do you like about Thanksgiving? Words, not sentences. Words.
Family,
Go ahead.
dressing, pool.
Where you go swimming?
Yes, we
Oh.
do swimming after Thanksgiving. I would say the turkey, cooking.
Okay, good enough. All right. Favorite sushi place anywhere?
Sushi Siam
Where's that?
on Key Biscayne.
Okay.
Nice, really
There's
good
a
stuff.
place
They've
in
got a
Key-
good Thai. They've got good Thai food as
There's
well.
a place in Key Biscayne. I don't know the name of the place, but I got a dessert from there. They serve a platter about this big, and it's all strawberries. I'll find out the name. As a kid, your favorite Christmas gift that you were given?
Oh, it was a surrey. I don't know that people know about a surrey. It looks like a little car, except you pedaled it. It had a back seat, a front seat, and a little canopy. And my sister and I got that as a Christmas gift, and we thought that we were the best.
That was in Fort Myers?
That was in Fort Myers.
Okay,
Surrey.
Andres, can you run, what's your webpage?
www.vickyforflorida.com.
Okay. The magic of the mix. Why are you going to be the best state representative? Why should people vote for you?
So I hope that they recognize experience and expertise over anything else. I have 30 years of experience in the system. I really have great relationships, both in leadership and with other, community leaders. I think I can get things done, and I can hit the ground running on day one.
That sounds pretty good.
Thank you.
So, Vicki Lopez, when's the early voting go out?
Oh boy. So absentees will hit.
Is that right, Vicki for Florida?
VickyForFlorida.com.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
The absentee ballots will hit everyone's home in July. We got to make sure that everybody who's asked for an absentee ballot checks to make sure that their absentee ballot has been checked. They're going to get it, and whatever information, because remember now there are new rules. So you got to provide some more identification. So either the last 4 digits of your social security number or something that identifies you in order to get that absentee ballot. So it's critically important that people check it if they like to vote absentee ballot. I know I do, and I went to check mine. I had to request it again for this election.
During this time, the next couple months, are you going to be knocking on doors?
Knocking on doors, absolutely. And I'm really excited about it, right? I love meeting new people. I hope, certainly I'll be concentrating on the Republican voters for now, for the primary. And then I'll be looking at, those that are registered NPA, no party affiliation, and some of the Democrats, because I believe that this is the year for Republicans. I think people are tired. I think they're looking for someone who, kind of can meet in the center at some times and collaborate. There were days, I can tell you this, Grant, when I was doing business in Tallahassee years ago, you could negotiate, you could collaborate with people from a different party to find solutions for the community. And I remember those days, and I hope that being elected will allow me to do just that when I go to Tallahassee.
Despite the parties, everybody wants good government.
That's right.
And somebody who's going to represent me, as for you, whoever in your district you want to represent them.
Exactly.
So we wish you good luck.
Thank you so much, Grant.
Everybody,
it was so much fun.
Have a great day. Vicki Lopez, District 113. Everybody have a great day.